Namaskar students and welcome. In this video, we are going to continue with 7th Science, lesson number 11, cell structure and microorganisms. This is going to be the second part of the lesson, children. Last time, we had completed everything about the cell and we had started with the study of microorganisms. Now, in this video, we will be seeing everything about the microorganisms. Definition, occurrence, size, nature, growth, types, and useful and harmful microorganisms. Now children, we all know about a microscope and we also know that the microscope is used for observing microorganisms and the cells. So what are microorganisms? Microorganisms are the organisms which cannot be seen with our eyes but can only be seen under a microscope. They are called microorganisms. Micros means small or very minute. Organisms means living things. That is why the meaning is very small living things, which are called as microorganisms. Now, where are they found? Occurrence of microorganisms. They are present all around us in air, water, soil, food, sewage, garbage, everywhere. In the bodies of plants, animals, humans, everybody. Some microorganisms are solitary. They live alone. They live singly. For example, amoeba, paramecium. Some live in groups, just like animals and humans, children. Some microorganisms live on the remains of dead plants and animals. They are called as decomposers, children. Now, what is the size of microorganisms? How small are microorganisms and how do we measure them? Most of the microorganisms can be easily seen under a compound microscope, but the microbes which are too small require an electron microscope for observing them. Sizes of some microorganisms, examples are given here, children. Paramecium about 100 micrometers. Bacteria of typhoid 1 to 3 micrometers. This is very small, children. They are very small because 1000 micrometers is 1 millimeter. So this is too small. Poliovirus 28 nanometers. It is very small, children. Now, what is the nature of microorganisms? Every microorganism is different from the other in shape and size. Some live alone, some live in groups. Some are small, some are slightly bigger, some are viruses. Many different types of microorganisms are there in nature, children. Prokaryotic cell. Now children, we have seen that the plant and animal cells come under eukaryotic cells. Now what are prokaryotic cells? They are primitive first formed nucleus cells. So prokaryotic are the old cells. When they are old cells, they may not be so very well developed, children. They are not as well developed as the eukaryotic cells. They have a cell wall, plasma membrane, nucleoid, cytoplasm. Most of the organelles they already have. They have a flagellum also for moving. So this is one of the institution which is going to help us get more information about the cells and microorganisms, children. National Center for Cell Sciences, Pune is an institute involved in research in the field of cell science, cytology. Cell science is called as cytology, children. Biotechnology, etc. The website address is also given here. Now, growth of microorganisms. How do they grow? Where do they grow? Each microorganism needs a specific environment for growth and reproduction. Some need oxygen while some don't. Some die in adverse conditions while some form a thick covering around themselves and stay dormant until favorable conditions come back. Yes, children, some do not die. They stay dormant and when the favorable conditions come, they become alive again. Children, viruses are one such kind of microorganisms which are very difficult to study because they are neither alive and they are neither dead. They become alive only when they go inside the body of some living thing, and then they start behaving like a living thing. Once you take them out of the living body, again they become dormant or they might die. So it becomes very difficult to study about the viruses. Where do the microorganisms grow? They grow in soil, water, decaying matter, etc. Anywhere they grow. Temperature, the optimum temperature. A good temperature range for the healthy growth of microorganisms is 25 to 37 degrees Celsius, just like ours, children, just like us. Nutrition, they require specific nutrients. Example, algae requires chlorophyll and oxygen. Atmosphere, moist, humid, warm. They don't like cold climate. That is why most of the things are stored in fridge. So microorganisms do not grow there easily. They take time because they don't like cold temperature. Now what are the 5 basic types of microorganisms? Algae, fungi, protozoa, bacteria and viruses. Algae, most of the plants are in the category of algae. Fungi also includes most of the plants. Protozoa includes animals. Bacteria includes all of them, and viruses are also called as obligate parasites, children, because as we learnt, as I told you about the viruses, they are neither living nor dead. So children, useful microorganisms. This is a very dirty, very nasty picture shown there, but it is all our own actions, children, our own doings. Microbes help in converting garbage into manure. So all this garbage can be converted into manure with the help of microorganisms, children. But it requires time. You need to give some time to those little microbes to act on the garbage and convert it into manure. Microbes also help in decomposing sewage waste into organic compounds. Microbes also have the ability of making this water clear again, good again. But the only thing is you need to give them time. See children, this is one of the rivers which was dirty in the beginning, and then all the people took initiative, and see the condition of the river now. It's so very clean and beautiful, isn't it? This is one use of microorganisms. Now, even nature is taking help of microorganisms and making the soil very healthy and fertile. Now see this is a methi plant, children, fenugreek. The methi which you are eating every day. These are the roots of the methi plant. Here you can't see it clearly, but here it's very clear. See the small rounded structures. Those are the root nodules. These plants, methi plant, groundnut plant, legumes, leguminous plants. This is tur dal, children. So these plants, leguminous plants, also help in converting atmospheric nitrogen into its compounds. They make the soil very fertile by fixing nitrogen into the soil. They take the nitrogen from the air and fix it to the soil. Now children, one more very good use of microorganisms. Very nice usage of microorganisms. Fermentation process. Now what is this fermentation process? Now children, the microbes present in the curd help in making the curd more healthy. Microbes are also used in preparing vaccinations. Microbes are also used in making antibiotics and vitamins. Microbes are used in making fruit juices, acetic acid, and many more things. Again, one more application of fermentation process. Microbes are also used in making the idli dosa batter very healthy and nutritious, and we get a very nice meal here. Fermentation process. Microbes are also used in making bread by the fermentation process. Brown bread is healthier than white bread, children. One more use of microorganisms. See, children, so many benefits of microbes. Producing ropes and string from agave. Agave plant is having a lot of hair. Okay, so those strings are used, those hair are used in making strings and ropes, children. Another use of microorganisms, they help in making biogas and fertilizer. They even help in clearing the oil from the seas and oceans, children. Many years back in the Gulf country, there was a war, and what happened is they had put most of the oil into the water. These were the oil-eating bacteria. They cleared up the oil and they made the water very clean and clear again. Now, children, harmful microorganisms. See this jam, it's become very dirty, very nasty. Yeah, it looks very bad. These kinds of microbes grow on the food and they make the food very bad and unhealthy. They lead to food poisoning also, children. So they are harmful microbes. As they use foodstuff for their own nutrition, they eat this food. Some microbes release toxic material, poisonous material, enterotoxins. They prepare these enterotoxins. They will make us ill. They cause loose motions and vomiting. Now, what else are harmful microorganisms doing to us? We get cough because of microorganisms. We even get cold because of viruses. When the mosquitoes are biting children, we get malaria, dengue, elephantiasis and many more diseases. This is elephantiasis, children. So we should be very careful. We should take care of ourselves. Now, what exactly happens when we have fever? You all know when we have fever, the temperature increases. The body becomes hot. But why? What is the reason? The body temperature of a healthy human being is about 37 degrees Celsius. If microbes enter our body, our immune system starts acting and the body temperature rises. The immune system, the immunity fighters, they fight against the diseases, and because of this fight, a lot of energy is produced in the form of heat. So we are getting fever. The immune system in our body understands, oh, something bad has come. We have to fight and drive them out of the body. So because of this, the temperature rises. This destroys the microorganism. The site of an injury feels warm for the same reason. When we are injured, that part also feels a little bit warm, children. Because all the immune fighters come and start acting on the foreign body which are trying to attack us.
Thank you for watching till here.